So we are out in the middle of the desert. We're driving along, and I see a car that's broken down, and there's a black man. Now, there is not a whole lot of black people here in Idaho, right?
Not a lot.
So I'm thinking nobody else is probably going to stop to help this man. So I'm just like, you know what? We should stop. We should stop and help this man.
No, we shouldn't.
I'm like, what? And she's like, oh. I was like, no one else is going to stop.
Not my problem.
And I'm like, come on, we got to help this guy out.
No, we don't.
See,
No, we do not.
So see, I just got to say, like, right now, like, she said we already had too many black people in the car.
Niggas already in this little vicinity. It's too many.
She said ninjas.
Ninjas.
That was ninjas for anyone that she has a speech impediment. It was
I a little slow.
Anyway, she wouldn't let me stop. She wouldn't let me help the guy.
No. You know how much hotter it would be in this vehicle if we put that black man in here?
And then I just know her because I know she's gonna be like, well, what do we get robbed?
And if we did, I'd blame it all on him because you was the one.
We'd be sitting there and I'd just be looking over like, okay, that was my bad.
Yep, your fault.
I don't know I just can't deal with these racists. These racists over here.
Racist people out
Racists.
there. Tell me about it. They just rude. Just disrespectful.
Now, what she doesn't know, we're driving back the same way. If he's still there, I'm stopping.
He can try.
I'm stopping.
I'm going to push the gas pedal.
Brothers and sisters, somebody just sent me. Good sister Aisha from the West Coast. Somebody just sent me, good sister Aisha from the West Coast. She just sent me an advertisement by a group of Negroes who held an interracial dating social. I want you to hear me. I want you to hear me. A group of black men in Los Angeles held a social, an interracial mixer, a social for single black men and single white women. I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. I would not lie to you. I'm not making this up. A social event was just held in LA. I don't know if it was large. I don't know if it was small. An interracial, singles only, coons and cave dwellers. An interracial social comprised of coons and cave dwellers. Some of our black men are so weak. Some of our black men are so pathetic. Some of our black men are so detestable that not only will they turn their back on the community, on our women, they will promote dysfunctional behavior. They will promote snow bunny crisis. The coon chip of the American Negro is vibrating at an all-time high. This is why I've always said there has to be a civil war within Black America before there can be a civil war in the United States of America. Not physical, but intellectual, social, cultural. We have to declare war on the coon kingdom. If we don't declare war on the kingdom of coons, they're going to have all of our kids. If we don't declare war on the kingdom of coons, They will have all of our churches. If we don't declare war on the kingdom of coons, they're going to have all our institutions. They've already taken over the Congressional Black Caucus. I think it's safe to say the Congressional Black Caucus has been colonized and conquered by the coon kingdom. The black church is just about all but conquered by the coon kingdom. The conscious community is also at risk of being conquered by the coon kingdom. Brothers and sisters, I know we laugh and joke. I know we laugh and joke about the coon kingdom. I know we laugh and joke about the coon kingdom, but I need y'all to understand. I need y'all to understand, overstand, and understand. Coon kingdom is real, brothers and sisters. We can laugh about it, but we have to do something about it because it's getting out of hand. It is absolutely getting out of hand. We got black women advocating coonism. And let me say this to the black women who say that we trying to look like white women and white women trying to look like us. Some sisters will say, don't worry about my blonde weave. Don't worry about my perm. Don't worry about my skin bleach. Don't worry about the fact I got my nose narrowed. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about my hazel eyes. Don't worry about my contacts. But here's what I need my sisters to understand, overstand, and understand. What I need you to understand, overstand, and understand, beautiful African queens, white women might want to look like you. They might want your ass, your breasts, your hips, your thighs. They might want to look 5'5" extra thick in the thighs. You understand me? They might want their lips full. They might want their cheekbones raised. They might want their hair a little thicker so they can wear another hairstyle other than that slick, wet, cave back dressing, right? Black man, what you need to understand is the white man might want to play your gangster rap, and he might want to drive in the Benz through the ghetto with the rims, and he might want to date a couple sisters, and he might want a couple 5'5" extra thick in the thigh queens from the hood. He might want to wear your clothes and sag his pants and rock them Jordans. White boy might want to walk with some swag. He might want to use some Negro lingo. He might want to talk this and talk that, and the white girl might want to be hip and hang out with her black girlfriends, and a white boy want to hang out with his black homies. But there's one thing I need you Negroes to understand. Is one thing I need you Negroes to understand. And that is, they might want to look like you from time to time, but not one of them ever want to be mistaken for you. Let me say it again. Let me say it again. I said they might want to dress like you, act like you, talk like you, dance like you. That's right, live like you. But they don't ever want to be mistaken for you. It ain't a white person in America, not a white person in the United States who wants to get pulled over by the police and be mistaken for a black person. Ain't a white person ever apply for a job and want to be mistaken for a black person. Ain't a white person ever applied for a mortgage and ever wanted to be mistaken for a black person. I want you to understand, overstand, and understand. I want you to understand, overstand, and understand. See, y'all get it confused. Just because they want to misappropriate your culture doesn't mean they want to belong to your race. Just because they want to misappropriate your culture doesn't mean they want to belong to your race. Just because they want to misappropriate your culture doesn't mean they want to belong to your race. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. I don't think y'all understand. I don't think y'all understand. I don't think y'all understand. These white folks is running the game on you, talking about, do white folks want to be black? No, they don't. Do they want the talent of black people? Do they want the rhythm of black people? Do they want the creativity of black people? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But do they ever want to be classified with you? Do they ever want to be mistaken for you? Hell no. DJ Khaled don't ever want to be mistaken for an African. Eminem don't ever want to be mistaken for no African. Kim Kardashian might get a fake ass. She might get her lips filled up. She might date half the men in Hollywood, half the brothers, but guess what? She don't ever want to be mistaken for an African. Stop confusing. Stop confusing cultural impersonation with racial identification. Stop confusing, brothers and sisters, cultural misappropriation with racial identification. Lord have mercy. Y'all think white folks want to be you. No, they don't. They want to take the cultural, the intellectual, the historical attributes of African people, but they want to leave the racial categorization. They want to leave the white supremacy victimization. Oh, yes. See, what you fail to realize is white folks could slide into the hood, act black, and go back to the suburbs at midnight. See, what you understand is DJ Khaled could come to New York City and act like he down with black folks, and then take his ass back to the Middle East like nothing never happened. See, that's what y'all fail to realize. Eminem could be chilling all in Detroit all he want. Eminem could be in Highland Park all he want. But when Eminem is tired of acting black and he wants to go back to being white, he can slip out. These white folks who are misappropriating your culture are insulting you. These white folks who are misappropriating your culture, they are insulting you. You don't let nobody act black and then go home and be white. This is a game for them. But because you love being accepted by your oppressor, because your racial self-esteem is so low, your racial self-esteem is so low that anybody who acts like they like the Negro can have anything they want from the Negro. Anybody who acts like they like the Negro can have anything they want from the Negro. See, what you don't understand about the Caucasian, what you don't understand about cave-dwelling organisms, what you don't understand about Neo-Neanderthal culture is they are totally Machiavellian. Their thinking is completely militaristic. Everything they do in relation to African people has an agenda. There is no such thing as a random act of kindness from a white person towards a black person. Let me say it again. And you black pastors can go to hell telling black folks to get to know white folks and see if they racist or not. You politically uneducated church demons. I've about had it with you all. I've about had it with you politically uneducated church demons, miseducating black people, telling them that don't listen to Dr. Umar. You got to get to know white folks. Get to know them on a personal basis. But we're not dealing with personal problems, Pastor. We're dealing with political problems, and political problems are systemic. Political problems are systemic. Getting to know a white person, how is that going to undo mass incarceration? Getting to know a white person personally, how is that going to undo miseducation? Getting to know a white person personally, what is that going to do about gentrification? Getting to know a white person personally, what is that going to do about economic distribution? If it's one thing we know about the European, we're going to talk about this in the course of Pan-Africanism. This is what the course of Pan-Africanism is about. The struggle of African people globally to understand themselves and understand their enemy. Europeans, because of the trauma they suffered in the ice. Caucasians, because of the ice trauma they experienced. They are so traumatized from the ice and so fearful of having ever needing to experience that again. They are so neurotic and traumatized by the ice that they do whatever they can to make sure they'll never go through that again. And what is the number one thing Europeans do to make sure they never have to experience another ice trauma? What is the main thing white folks do to make sure they never have to experience another ice trauma? And the main thing they do is take over all resources. If you want to know why, the United Kingdom, a small little island country known as England, colonized more than half of the known world at one time. Why does a small little island of white folk known as England, why did they need to colonize more than 50% of the known world at one time? For what? You don't even have enough people for all those resources. You don't even have enough citizens to need all of that. It's rooted in the psychological dysfunction of European culture. Because of the ice, they never ever want to be without resources again, so they do not share. They control everything. They don't want some of the gold, they want all the gold. We don't want some of the land, we want all the land. We don't want some of the oil, we want all of the oil. We're less than 10% of the entire earth. Europeans are less than 10% of the entire earth, but they want control of everything on the earth as a means to appease the fear and the neuroticism of the ice trauma. They never want to go through a situation like that again. And to make sure they never do, they are going to control the land and the resources of the entire earth. This is why the white man's military is the white man's priority. The white man's military is the white man's priority. This is why we live in a nuclear age. This is why the atomic bomb has come about, because the white man will destroy the whole planet before he goes back to the ice. He will never allow himself or his children to go through what they went through before, brothers and sisters. So you want to keep on, y'all want to keep on mixing with these, genetically traumatized people, these historically traumatized people. You keep it on up. You keep it on up. I mean, do you realize this man hung your men and cut their penises off and raped your women and had breeding farms, and on the breeding farm the black man had to impregnate a woman a week? If the black man didn't impregnate a woman a week, he would be castrated, brothers and sisters. These were the rules on the breeding farm from 1808 when America outlawed slavery to 1865. Think about that, black man. You have to impregnate a woman a week, and the slave master didn't give a damn if she was 8, 18, or 28 if she had her menses. As soon as the little black girl had her menstrual cycle, she was fair game on the breeding farm to be raped. And the black man didn't want to rape a daughter.